day one. I have actually no idea what this will be about, and so I had to smile to see when I always ask you. YouTube asked me to make a title. You cannot go live without a title of this session, so I just thought of something that might be good for today, but I honestly have no idea what comes up in me. So, welcome to this live stream. The other challenging thing is for me, when I was just contemplating how to start this first session, is that I honestly have no idea who my audience is. I have no idea who will be watching and who will be listening to this and what you've been doing so far in your life. So it could be at first that I might talk to you in a language that's unfamiliar, or I might talk to you in a language that is already too familiar. And I really would like to invite each and every one of you to just share your questions, so you can actually make it your series instead of me just sending and transmitting my message. So well, go with this series in any way you like, or what is relevant for you to hear in this moment. So let's see how it goes. I felt a huge excitement earlier this week to just do another 33 days in a row. That means that I will go live every day and I'll share what comes up. And I did that also a year ago for 99 days in a row. And although the first session might feel like a little bit me getting into this space with you, might be a little bit uncomfortable for myself, as I notice a little discomfort within me now. I know that over a few sessions it will become more authentic to me, and with my authentic expression, my message will serve you better. So the transmission will be more pure. That's actually what it means. So as I had to think of a title to start a session with, I always love two topics, main topics of anything I share with others. It's always about ownership and embodiment. So let's just start there. So life is fascinating to me. Life is really fascinating. And I've been on this exploration, how life works, for about 8 years now. And I really noticed that only a couple of years ago, I noticed that the embodiment part is so important of really understanding how life works. Because we human beings are actually energetic beings. We're just completely consisting actually of a light frequency or an energy frequency. And depending of the state you're in right now, or any moment of the day, or any moment in your life, will show or will feel as a certain frequency. It's either a low frequency, or it's a higher frequency, or it's medium. But there is like a bandwidth for you, which is your natural frequency right now. And that level of frequency where you are right now really depends on how much dense, stuck emotional information or frequencies is still in your system. So if you feel quite often low and deprived from energy, and life feels more like a struggle, and you feel stuck and life is challenging, then it's most likely the case that you have a lot of dense energy within your system. And with the system, I mean the physical body, literally. So you kind of have like, and it's in the cells. It's really deep, deep down in the cells, in your DNA, you could almost say. And this low dense frequency kind of makes you more heavy to move through life. And that often happens, or that is for many people the case, because we are so mind driven. We have learned and been raised to live life from our mind. And our mind tells us what is good and what is wrong, and what we need to achieve, and what we need to be doing, and how we need to follow this system, and how we need to become self-supporting, and how we fear failing, and And the stress we feel when all these expectations we put onto ourselves, or the outer world put onto ourselves, all what we're always doing is trying to um, get through our life through our minds. So there are a lot of thought patterns continuously during the day that just keeps you busy, and you're actually trying to control life from your mind. Well, leave the actually out of it. You are controlling your life from your mind. And that is very draining process. That costs a lot of energy. And and the worst thing is it's not getting you into flow, it's not getting you into a higher frequency, and it's not connecting you with the heart. So that's where the embodiment part comes in. And so if you have this lower frequency system and you feel like this density, um, and even if you don't feel it, but you just are tired often, or you struggle, like I said before, then it is the next step is to really open up to the physical body you are being born with. And so that literally means that we have to learn to sense and to feel again. We have to go within and learn um, that we can literally ask our body where we feel stuck and where we have to release energy and where we have to release tension. But we have not learned it that way. Like I said before, we are driven by the mind, and we try to solve things with the mind. And we have to make that shift to asking actually the body, and it goes through the entrance point of the heart center, which is in the middle of the body. So it's more like the chakra of the heart and not the actual location of the heart, which is a bit out of the center, weird enough. But there's a good reason for that. Um, so we have to literally go within. As often, if you have meditated before, every meditation always starts with go within. And that requires sensing the inner body you have. So you literally are just closing your eyes and you just literally open up your body and just try to sense what you feel. And then you can feel like a tension or an anxiety somewhere, and you can feel like a contraction somewhere. And that feels uncomfortable. But the more and more you do that, you learn how to breathe into that area where it's dense and to give it space and to release it, to release that tension. And by practicing it more and more, you will notice that your body releases the tension and that you will feel lighter, and that literally stuck energy is shifted into a higher frequency. And that means that you will be living with a higher frequency, and that's the more um, the more you raise your frequency, life will change. And I will share a lot more about that in other sessions. But I really would like to invite you to open up your connection with your body and with your heart, because that's where it all starts. And like I said before, my journey was on exploring how life works. You could call it a spiritual path, but I did a lot more than that because I was really into new science and quantum physics, and I really want to understand how the universe works. So, but in these first years, I was really caught up in the mind to really understand everything. And that's an important part, the understanding. It really is. But if we don't include the body, the vehicle that we live with, then nothing will literally change, at least not at a consistent level. So you will notice incremental changes of moments of awakening, as they call it, or bliss or joy, but then you fall back again and life feels heavy again. And by including this process of embodiment and breathing into these tense areas and giving it space and releasing the energy just by being present with it, you will notice that you will over time raise your frequency more consistently, and that it's more easier to connect with the heart on a consistent level during the day, during every moment in the day. But it requires practice because we have not been brought up by that in that way. We have not been taught that that's how it works. And even most of the spiritual teachings don't include the embodiment, and they really go into the dualistic transformations and transmissions, which might still keep a lot of people in the mind and not in the embodiment part of it. But this is where it happens, and this is where we have to transcend ourselves from these low frequencies into the higher frequencies. So before I continue with the frequencies, I just want to go back to ownership, which was the other title I used. And so it did work, actually, make the title for this video. So I kind of have this topic now. And it feels good for today. With ownership, I mean that we really have to, and this have to is really like a must, especially in this time, take ownerships over our lives and stop our repetitive cycle of waiting for the outer world to make it better for us, which most of us are doing. We are waiting for the systems, even the luck that we hope that we one day we might win the lottery, or the fact that we're pushing ourselves through life to make the right career, to earn a lot of money, to try to gain freedom by becoming financially independent or to get an amazing job. We're pushing ourselves through life. And in this way of interacting with the world, constantly outside of ourselves, we actually expect the outer world to give it to us. And then we forget that it's all up to us and taking full ownership of everything that we do in life. Every thought we have, every feeling we have, every action we do, that we have to own that consequence of that action, of that feeling, of that thought pattern. And that is quite a big task, to shift that way of living into ownership. And ownership is not the same thing as being responsible for everything that's happening in life outside of you. So we're not responsible for all the pain, or not each individual is completely responsible for all the pain that has been done on this world to many people, or even to you right now. So you're not responsible for the other person's actions or the actions of the system, but you are responsible. So you do own how you deal with it and how you react to it, and how you can align with your truth and make it happening for you. That's ownership. And how you not project your fear and your anxiety and your struggles and your feeling of being a victim here on this planet, how you project it onto others. That's not ownership. So it's literally reflecting constantly back to what life is showing you, and then feeling back into yourself, like, okay, what does it tell about me? What did I share outside from myself to the world? What did I share that I get this reflected? Because it's an interaction. It's a constant interaction of you sharing something with the world, just your daily life, and you get something back in return. And is that what you get back in return? Do you like that? Is that actually what you want to receive? Is that how you want to live? Is that the relationships you like to have? Is that, and where's your role in this? Because if you receive something back that you don't like much, then it's up to you to make that shift and to send something out that you do like and you do want to receive back. And this interaction with the world happens at all details, very small ones, big ones. I mean, every detail, every step, every little thought, every little feeling is something you send out to the world. And especially these days, I mean, we're in this weird times right now, where there's a lot of turmoil online within ourselves. Our societies are completely turned upside down. We're very unsure how the future will look like. So we have two options now. We can wait and see how it will all turn out and hope that something will save us, whatever you believe in that will save you now. Or we can go within and ask ourselves, what is that we want out of life? What is that I want out of life? What are my desires? Where is my excitement? Where is my passion? What is it I love to do? And shifting that around and starting living differently and following your excitement is where you take ownership over your life. And with that journey, you will have to face, um, you practically all have to do that. You will face some challenges within yourself. And then I come back to this embodiment part I talked earlier about. When you step into following your path of excitement, and I will share more about that in other sessions, but just literally feel like it's coming from the heart, what excites me, what I love doing. And even if it's just a small part of the day, if you only have an hour left, really step into something like, oh, I would really love to explore this. I really love to find some joy and spend time in nature, or I want to explore new information about a topic, or I want to shift my job into something that I really love doing, or well, there are many ways of following your excitement. It doesn't have to be big, it can be small as well. But by following that excitement, you might notice that you might come across some uncomfortability, that you might have to do things that you actually don't feel comfortable about. So let's take the example of shifting a job or finding a new job if you're just leaving university. And you might think like, okay, what is it that I actually want to do on this planet? And you might think like, oh, I would like to set up my own business. And then if you think about that, you think about all the things that come with it, and you might think like, oh my God, I can never pull that off. I don't have the resources. I need to earn money. I then have to show up in a way that I'm not comfortable with. People might not believe me because I don't have the right papers, or people might not believe me because I don't have the experience. And many things might come up that kind of like pull you back into your old self. And then the excitement is kind of gone because it's overrun with all these anxieties and discomfort and limiting beliefs, which is what it are in yourself, that kind of draws you back into like, oh no, I'll just stay here and I just do a job that is okay for now, and I just earn my money first. And what it actually is that we're doing is that we are constantly regretting the past. We're actually living in the past of the things that we cannot do, we don't believe we're good at, we don't believe we can achieve or can feel fulfilled with, or we don't believe we can reach that goal, or whatever it is, or we're not good at something. So we're regretting this past, and we're living most of the time in our past. And we are worried about the future. What if it doesn't happen? What if I cannot find that great job? What if I cannot set up this business I would like to do so much because I love doing that? What if I fail? What if I'm turned down? What if I'm rejected? What if I'm, what is it? Yeah, whatever it is, the what ifs. And that's always about the future. It can also be about the future, like if that's not happening, then, well, then I have no options left, or then I don't know what to do, or then I don't know how to change my life. And living in the past creates repeating the same pattern and the same cycle again and again. So going back to this moment of excitement where you felt like, oh yes, I'm really excited about exploring this new idea. And then you get drawn back in the limiting beliefs that are coming from the past. And aligning with that energy of the past makes that you are repeating that same cycle again, and you bring it into your now moment, into your now reality. And that creates the same reality. So guess what? Tomorrow will be, or the day that you start with this feeling. So you start with excitement, then you relive the past, and you take back these limiting beliefs, you take it with you in the day. Guess what? The day will be the same as the day before. And at the end of the day, you're kind of disappointed, like, nothing changed. And you confirm yourself, like, okay, I was right. It did not change. And I cannot do it, or whatever your stories you're telling to yourself. And then the next day, you might start again, hopefully with this feeling of excitement. And before you know it, you repeat again the past. limiting beliefs. And so we go on and on. And we actually forget to live. We forget to live in the now moment. We forget to live in staying in this feeling of excitement and following these little steps to making our dream come true, to live a thriving life, is where the tension constantly is coming in, and it really requires consistency and endurance and practice. It literally is a practice to get yourself out of this pattern of past thinking and worrying about the future, that something might not happen the way you think it will happen. So these and that kind of like keeps your frequency, the state, how you feel and how you are in that moment and in your life, it keeps it in the same bandwidth. You're not moving out of it. And you might have really good moments. For instance, when you do get a new job that you really love, and there's this first day and this first week and this first month that you really are excited, like, yes, I've made a shift and I've made this happening. But then after a couple of months, you kind of like lose the excitement. And that might be because that job might not be completely in with your alignment, with your authentic true self. And then you are disappointed again, and you're kind of repeating the same cycle again of confirming your limiting beliefs. So this is quite a complex story, because there are many, many layers in this whole narrative I'm sharing here, in this whole explanation I'm sharing here. So I touched upon embodiment and limiting beliefs and the energy frequencies and even the true self. And there's a lot to share about where it all comes from, and I will do that in the next sessions. But before we go on to any new session in this series, I really would love you to contemplate and ask yourself, what is it that I want out of my life? And wherever you are right now, whether you're young, between 20 and 30, and I honestly do hope that my audience will move into that direction, because you are the ones who are going to make this shift happening, really make it happen on this planet. Or whether you're a lot older, it doesn't really matter. Life is too short not to live every day fully, and not to experience the desires you have, and to live the life you really love to live. And that doesn't mean that you have to do great things and that you have to be impactful and change the whole planet or change your whole country or change your whole company. It doesn't have to be huge. Any impact you make is huge by itself. So any moment you start living your authentic self and become thriving and be very aligned with your being, that's who you are. Every moment you do that, you already create a ripple effect in this world, and you influence people around you, and you share your higher race, your higher frequency, your higher vibration. You share that with the world, and it's enticing, and people love that. And people might not ask you, like, how did you do that, or what happened to you, but they will pick it up, and you will inspire them to do the same and follow the same journey. And most of all, you will shift your life. And by shifting your life, life feels lighter. And life feels lighter because you've raised your frequency. It literally is lighter. And with a lighter frequency, so many things will change. Even the way how your body feels will change. I've seen many people literally shape-shifting, and I've even experienced it myself. I literally like changed in my body, lost weight, and feel more natural with eating patterns that are more natural to me, and still enjoying all the things that are not so healthy. But I just do it because I follow my excitement on that. But in a natural way, not because it's pushed by emotions or not because it's pushed by stress, but because I like to enjoy it. So a thriving life, which is always my core topic, my core mission, to have as many people I can influence in becoming thriving. A thriving life will give you this heightened experiences of higher frequencies. And that doesn't mean that you don't experience low ones anymore. Not at all. I mean, we will go through waves for now. And even though the frequency of this planet is even rising, and why it's a lot more easier for you now to rise in frequency as well and to raise your consciousness, literally. It's a lot easier now because the energy on the planet is different. It has changed over the last 20 years, and particularly in 2017, it has changed tremendously. So we are supported with a higher frequency on this planet. And although it might not feel right that way right now because of the tension in the world, the shift is happening. And it's a choice for you. And it's a question to you. How do you want to continue your life? Where is it that you want to be within a couple of years? Where is it that you want to, how do you want to end your life? How do you want to look back upon your life and think like, yeah, I was so fulfilled. I gave my life meaning and I really loved it and I enjoyed it and I enjoyed every minute of it. I hope that that's your answer of how you would like to end this life. And looking back with a lot of gratitude towards your life. Instead of where you might be today of like, life feels heavy and dense and it's a struggle and I don't always feel seen and I don't feel like I can be myself and I don't feel like I can show up the way I know deep down I am. Would you like to continue that cycle or is it ready to make that shift right now? And it's not like a shift like taking a pill, like the blue and the red pill from the Matrix or any pill. It's not like, it's simple. The process is simple and the shift is simple. It's just not easy because we have to repattern and reprogram ourselves and make that shift to this inner alignment and this inner deep connection to the self, which is within you, which is within this physical body. But with practice, the shift can happen just within a month or two. And I know because I see people I work with, I can see them making that shift. I can see that just feeling that huge, overwhelming feeling of empowerment just coming over them when they have this epiphany, this insight, this revelation, like, finally I can sense it, I can feel it, I'm aligned with me, I'm aligned with myself, with my deep inner self. And then things will shift, and then you will tap into the beautiful law of synchronicities. It's an organizing principle of synchronicities that things just come together because they are so perfectly meant for you. So, well, that's a lot of information, I think. And it might have been a bit chaotic because I didn't know where to start, as I shared with you in the beginning. And I hope you be a little patient with me and it become more quiet and more focused on one topic instead of like all these different topics I touched upon now. But I just want to give you a gist of what it's all about. And not all about, I only think I've touched upon a small percentage, but at least these are the main points. Just knowing that you are an energy being. Even that, only just allowing that to sink in is already a shift. Because frequencies can change. So you can change one thing from a lower to a higher frequency. So you then have the ownership and the empowerment to change your life. That's really up to you. And so the ownership of just taking that decision to shift your life lies in your hands. And it actually lies in your heart. Just talk to the heart. Talk to the spirit within you, whatever you want to call it. Just talk to it. Awaken it. It's there. But it's not often listened to. But just awaken it. And the embodiment practice, we get back to that in the next session. Really just, but everything you do with the breath to create space is a first good one to start with. And just do that 10, 12, 20 times a day. Just literally just go back within. Breathe, create some space, and just be really present in that moment. And repeat that as many times as you can. Okay, I'm gonna leave it with this. In case you do want to ask questions, you can also use the live chat. I mean, this is a first for me to do it live, so you can use the live chat on the right side of your screen, and I can see the questions coming in. And as long as there are only a few of you, I can read them. So you're lucky if you're the first one, or you can send them to me in a private message or underneath this video as a comment. Okay, thanks for watching, and to see you tomorrow. Bye.